I'm back. I'm now back with a new format. I want to watch like maybe 3 movies a week and do a no script, free solo, just freestyle. 5 minutes review of movies. Maybe 3 times a week now, if I can. We'll see. Today I start this format with The Amazing Spider-Man. What do I think of The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone? I think it's slightly better than I think it than I thought it was. Um, I f- I think the movie starts to get really interesting like halfway through the movie. So I would say first half is more boring or lesser than better. Um, but I think in the first half he gets his powers and he makes the suit and stuff like that. But I think the movie starts shining more in the second half. Like definitely more. I think this movie is probably a little better than I thought it would be. Um, because I heard so much bad stuff about The Amazing Spider-Man 2 that I didn't even want to watch this movie, but recently I heard so much good stuff about The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and I thought, why not watch the first movie first? And then I thought, well, why not review it? But instead of making a script for writing a script, recording it, editing it, um, releasing it on multiple days in a row, why not just take it easy? Why not make a review like I used to? Like this channel is called 5 minutes movie review because that's how I used to do it. I watched a movie and just did like a 5 minutes review of a movie, made like a few shorts of it, and released it. Like released the video, took a few shots of it, and released the shorts. That's how I used to do it. And I kind of want to go back to it. So, what's so great or what's so good about The Amazing Spider Man? I think The Amazing Spider Man, I don't know. I kind of think it's like not so good actually, but a little bit better than I thought. There's like it's like in a very weird zone. It's better than I thought, but still underwhelming. It's still, I don't know. Like the first, I'm talking about pure nostalgia right now because I cannot really remember it. But I think Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire, I think that was a better movie. I cannot remember it fully. Maybe I'm gonna do a review of it. We'll see. I probably should do a review of the Raimi series to be honest. Like right now I'm doing this review for Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 1. Then I'm gonna do a review for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Then I think I will do Tom's Spider-Man movies and then maybe Toby's. Just to see like how different they are from each other, where they rank from each other. Um what's my favorite series? What's my favorite Spider-Man? My favorite Peter Parker? My favorite Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy? Like just to see the differences. Um, I think the Amazing Spider-Man had more lows for me than highs. Like the first half was rather boring for me, or not as amazing as it could be. Um, and also when I think like when Toby got his Spider-Man powers, like that scene where he got bit by a spider, and the next day when he woke up, and comparing that to Andrews when he got bit by a spider and like everything after that, and he woke up and realized he had powers. I think Toby's were much better, in my opinion. Were much more hype. I think Andrews is still not bad. Like when he got okay, wait. When I say not bad, maybe the spider biting him, that scene was not great. I wouldn't say it was bad, but it was definitely not great. Toby bitten by the spider definitely was much better. I think it was even a great scene. But Andrew's spider biting scene is really underwhelming. And um I think him realizing that he has powers or something's changing, I think that's much more interesting to watch than the bite, than the bit with the spider. That was very underwhelming for me. Um, I guess it was interesting seeing in the beginning him as a child and later him finding out about his father's past, and then furthermore him continuing his father's. I don't know if he continues his father's or like the colleague from his father's um work. I think his colleague's work. Yeah, I think. Well, definitely him and the lizard, them both interacting as normal human beings, as Spider-Man and the lizard. Like I think that's the best stuff about the movie. I think there's where the movie shines. Second best, I would say the scenes of Gwen. There we can see some good acting. Like I think the best acting you get from Peter is him with the lizard, and then Peter second is him with Gwen Stacy, and then maybe third is either with his uncle Ben. Also, Uncle Ben's dying scene is so shit in this movie. Like Uncle Ben dying in the Raimi's trilogy with Tobey Maguire, it was so much better. Like so much better. It's crazy how much better it was. Like see already these two scenes in comparison with Toby's Spider-Man, the bite was better with Toby. Uncle Ben's dying scene was much better with Toby. It's just a shame that this movie is so underwhelming and not refined, I guess. Um let's continue further. So I think him, Peter Parker, interacting and talking with the father of Gwen Stacy, that was entertaining, but also kind of weird because why does the father think that Spider-Man is like a bad guy, a robber, a thief, a whatever? Like he tries to help the police, which also I mean Peter Parker told him. Yeah, I guess the father got my respect in the end because in the beginning he didn't listen to Andrew. I mean Peter. He even joked about him, like straight up kind of roasted him. In the middle, he listened to him. He didn't listen to him. He even said like, "So you think there's a lizard in this town attacking us? How about you go back to your Godzilla fans or something like that?" But then, right after Peter left, he told his colleague to look up I forgot what the scientist was called, like look him up in his past and stuff like that. And then in the end, Peter swinging around town, getting hit by some shocker, some electroshocker, and landing on the ground, nearly getting unmasked, then like knocking out the policeman so they don't know who he is, and then Peter slowly turning around because Gwen Stacy's father says, "Hands up." So Peter slowly turns around. The spotlight from the helicopter shining on his face. Gwen Stacy's father sees his face. He realizes it's Peter. Peter then explains to Gwen Stacy's father, Gwen is in big trouble, and I'm the only guy who can stop the lizard. So please let me. And he picked up his mask. And he did go and do his Spider-Man stuff. Like to save Gwen Stacy, save the city, and beat the lizard. And then we got from a scene earlier, like Spider-Man was on the way to the lizard at the end of the movie. And then we go now back to I will now talk about the middle of the movie where he saved a child from a crane construction or something like that. The crane constructor sees Spider-Man on news and he's like calling up his boys. He's saying like, "We're doing overtime. Call the boys." So they all turn the cranes into like the middle of the street so he can swing better over the streets with their help. So I think that scene was pretty good. Like him also like kind of limping because he hurt his leg or something. Oh yeah, somebody from police shot his leg. So he's limping and then he kind of falls off a roof and we don't see him. And then we see him going up again because one of the crane construction, I think there was the dad that Spider-Man saved the kid's life on the bridge while the lizard was kind of attacking the bridge. I think that dad saved up or saved Spider-Man with the thing that was holding onto the crane. So he kind of like brought him up again so we couldn't see him again. And then Spider-Man swinging over the town, over the streets with the help of the crane constructor, people doing the cranes and like close to each other so he can swing better. So that scene was, I know I'm talking right now really ununderstandable, but if you watch a movie, you will know which scene I mean, and that scene is actually really good. Then I think Peter fighting with the lizard was probably the highlight of the movie. Like Peter and him talked a little, and the lizard guy didn't really. He was out of his mind. Like he talked like, "No father, no uncle, no mother. You probably are so lonely," or stuff like that. Like he straight up just roasted his dead relatives. Um, Shortly before the fight, Gwen Stacy had like some serum